everyone. Just a fantastic song from Rush from their album Caress of Steel. They opened with this for a lot of years. There's a great video of this, it's in black and white, from the Capitol Theater in '76. Oh God, those guys look young. But just a great song. There's little twists and turns here. And there's some specifics that the tab doesn't really give you. So we're going to go over all the little nuances to make this rhythm correct. So the song starts out, we're going to be on the G note, 6th string, hammering into the A note on the 5th fret. Alright, it's going to start out with hammer on, then 2 quick hits, and then 3 more hits. Again. One more time. Then we walk down. We're going to do 3 hits on the 3rd fret, 2 hits on the 2nd fret, and 1 hit open. Fast, and that whole measure will repeat. Then he moves it up a whole step. So we're going to be hammering in from 5 to 7, moving down from 5 to 4 to 2. Kick into the full rhythm. This rhythm will be consistent throughout the song. He doesn't change it. There's 2 measures of it in the intro, then we do a full measure of it in the verse, and then we go into the chorus. So what he's playing, 2 hits on an open E power chord, then we go to a G, 1 hit, down to a C, 1 hit, then D, 2 hits, back to A, 1 hit, and back to D. That's the first half. And again, this only does it the first half. The second half, he just goes, he stays on the A. So let's take this first half together slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Second half, we're going to hit the E 3 times. Then we come to the G and C once each. D again will be twice, but because we hit the E 3 times, we're just going to hit the A once and not fall back to D. Okay, a lot of them got it this wrong. They don't even bother with the rhythm. They're just thinking he's doing. It's not. It's only the first half. So both together slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that opening riff, it's played pretty damn quick. The other thing I want to mention, don't pull off too high and hammer in, because again, this is so fast. Just lift your finger a little bit up. That'll really help you with this rhythm if you want to play the song. Unless you take, like I do, riff station, slow it down, and then work up to it. Again, I'll have a link, just like my notes will be below the video for this whole song. And I didn't even mention, we're in standard tuning. Even the Exit Stage Left album is standard tuning. So, all right, let's get into the verse. All right, so we've done that measure twice. The verse is exactly the same. Let's go through the verse one time through. So we're going to do the A, D, A. Then we're going to come through, do the D to A, then back to D, A, D, and then D to A. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, now we're into the chorus. So the chorus is a riff working off of G and C. G's more of a power chord. You don't have to really worry about that B note. If you hit it, that's fine. But what he's doing is moving back and forth after hitting the G power chord. So he's hitting 6 string, 3rd fret to the 2nd fret, back to the 3rd. Then, you know, it's up for debate whether he does it. I do it the next lick, or it might be the bass and you just come in with this C ninth. But I like to walk up, so I'm going to hit the open 5th string to 2nd fret to 3rd fret. That's how I've written it out. When I get to that 3rd fret, I hit the full chord. Alright, so up to that point. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we'll hit it again, move down to B over G, then to A. You can leave your first 2 fingers on there, that'd be an A7. So we got this so far. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then he comes in. Now I watched him do this. He goes up to a G power chord playing with the 6th and 5th and 4th string. So we're going to go G to A and then D. The D, once you hit it, then you're going to hit it 4 more times and then a down up before you go back. And repeat. The 2nd D, he just hits it twice. So we're going to go. And then 2 hits. So it's just a little shorter, the 2nd measure, because they stop and they come in basically with, I'm calling it a tag in my notes, the same chording that we do in the verse, except there's no singing during the tag, which is 2 times through, and then a verse 2 times through with the D, A, D, and then the just D to A. All right, so let's go through the whole chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4. To the tag. Verse 2 comes in, same as verse 1, chorus 2, same as the first chorus, then we're into a little bridge. Okay, here's the bridge at speed. So what we're doing is a G, again power chord, to an F sharp over D. So we're going to move to the, what I do is move my first finger up there, my middle finger down to the 3rd string at the 2nd fret. It's an F sharp over D. You can keep your pinky on too. Alright, that'd be an F sharp over D sus4. We're going to move it down to this B over the G. Then we come to F to A and then D. The D will be hit once, then twice, and then we hit it again and come back and repeat. So we have this. the second time through, we don't go to D. We're going to hit A, G, and then E power chord. It's really an E minor. So for the second half of the bridge, where it goes into the unison bends, I'm going to add my neck pickup. You can do it just with the neck pickup if you're playing with the album. If you're playing live, I don't think he bothers switching. Alright, so I've got both pickups on, and we're going to do unison bends. We're going to be on the B string, on the 8th fret and 11th fret of the 3rd string. So this will all be on the 2nd and 3rd string. Sound like this. So what we're doing, we're bending up this 11 while we keep the 8th fret of the 2nd string the same. We'll hit it twice, and then we'll hit it once with the moving it down a half step. Come back where we started, but then we're going to jump back a step and a half to the 5th and 7th. Then we come to, we're going to start a half step up. So we'll be on the 7 and 9. Back a step. Then we jump to 1 and 3, come up to 3 and 5, and then 5 and 7. Alright, that repeats partially. So we'll start out just like we did. Now when we get to the 9th and 7th fret, we're going to bend it twice, but then we come to 10 and 12. Now, what he does in the recording is come back to our 1 and 3, then 3 and 5, and then 5 and 7. There's an overdub guitar, and live, what he does is he just plays the chords, C, D, and E. Alright, that takes us into the next part. But that's the differences in the live version versus what he does in the studio and what's overdubbed. So the solo's next. I'll go over that after we finish the rhythm. Post-solo, we're into a shortened tag or half measure of the verse. And even that is a little bit shortened because it goes into just a 2-note phrase before he restarts verse 3. Alright, so we're going to go, let me go through it slowly. Alright, so we come through the first part just like we would. 2 on the E to G, C, 2 on the D to A, D. I'm sorry. When we get to the D twice, the second time through, we come up to the 2nd string, 8 to 10, and then slide down. Alright, that is just a shortened tag that takes us into, you could even consider it really kind of the ending of the solo. We're into verse 3. We're into chorus 3, which is the same as the other 2 choruses. And then we're into another bridge. Alright, after that bridge, we start the outro. So what you'll find for this outro, and as I've written it, it's really the rhythm, especially for the bass, of the solo. So what he starts out with, the first measure, is going to be hitting 3 strikes on a D before we go to A twice. Then a chukka, 3 more strikes on D, A twice, chuck, 3 strikes on D, A twice, and then we're going to hit a G power chord, slide down, and then open. Alright, so it'll sound like this. not, you can pick through the strings on that G. But he's really just jamming through this, and it's pretty quick. So I'll just play. So that first measure will repeat. So we'll do it again. Now we're going to move everything up a step. Move to E and B for chords, but what I notice, he's not doing a run from A to basically moving it down to G or A flat and then G flat. He's coming to A and then back again. So we have this. Okay, so that rundown after our E to B, just like the rhythm with the D to A, is just an A, and hit that G sharp over A, and just hit the F sharp note. Alright, then he goes into the next part of it. So the next lick you'll hear in the outro will be at the 4th position. We're going to hit 4 to 5 and then open 6th string to 4 on the 6th string and 5 twice. So he does that 3 times, then he moves it up a step. So it'll be 6 and 7 and then open 6, 7 twice. Alright, the next time what he does is he's moving up a half step, but he actually uses the A note. So what you're doing is basically move your ring finger there, 5th string, 7 to 8, and then 5, 7, 8 twice. And then we're into the chorus, and he goes slowly through it. Alright, so it's the same that we've learned. The only difference is he holds the D there. He doesn't play it as a chord. The second time through, he'll hit G twice and then A and stop. Alright, and then we're going to go to the very end, which this really, up to this point, this slower chorus has a lead section to it, and I'll show you that after the chorus. But anyhow, to end the song, what he does is this. So it's 4 to 5 on the 4th string, 4 to 5 on the 5th string, 2 into a G power chord, held, and then just end on the G power chord. The first part of the solo will sound familiar. It's the rhythm where we go D to A. 3 hits on D to A, then a small chuck, and then 3 more hits D to A, small chuck, 3 hits D to A. Alright, I'm just going to stop there. So we know the 3 hits from D to A twice. Alright, then what we do is come down to the 2nd string. We're going to pull off 8 to 7 to 5. Alright, we're going to do that 3 times. Then we hit the 8 bent, and we'll do that 4 times. So what we're doing all together, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, and then we're into the next measure of the solo. Okay, the next part of the solo, we're still in that 5th position. We're going to hit 8 4 times before pulling off to 5 and moving on from there. I'll play this next measure for you. Alright, so if you're wondering, this is the Mixolydian scale that he's doing this with, and he goes between A Mixolydian, B, and eventually G. But anyhow, what we're doing is hitting that 8 on the 2nd string 4 times before we hit it again and pull off to 5, landing on 7. Come back to 5, and then 7 on the 3rd string pulled off to 6. Come to the 4th string, 7, back to 6 on the 3rd, and 7, again with a little vibrato on the 4th string. So all together to that point, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we'll hit it again and slide to 9 on that 4th string from 7. Now we're into the next measure. So the next measure, the solos start basically here with the 4th string again. We slid up to 9. We're going to hit 9 again. Alright, I'll just stop there. What we're doing, we hit that 9. What I do is use my middle finger. I switch it and then come up on the 3rd string, 8, 9, 11. And then back to 9, 11 pulled off to 9. Then we're going to hit 11 again, bent, and then hit it again as it's bent and release it. Catch 9 on the 2nd string, back to 11, pulled off to 9. Then we're going to hit 10. What I do, again, I switch to this 7th position. I'm going to hit 10 with my pinky 4 times bent. Then we'll hit it unbent and then again pulled off to 7 on the 2nd string, back to 9 and 7. Then we come to the 3rd string, 9 pulled off to 8 twice. 2nd time we'll land on 9 on the 4th string. Then we come to 8 on the 3rd string, 9 3 times, back to 8 with vibrato. Alright, so that whole lick slowly, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we move back to the 5th position and we'll do this. Alright, so what we're doing, we're going to start out pulling off 7 to 6 on the 3rd string, landing on 7 on the 4th string. Then we go 6, 7 on the 3rd to 5, 7. Then we take 8 on that 2nd string, pulled off to 7 and 5. Back to the 3rd string, 7, and then 5 on the 2nd. So we have this so far. Then we come back to that 3rd string, pulling off from 7 to 6, landing on the 4th string at 7. Then we come back 3rd string, hammer on from 6 to 7, and then 2nd string, 5 to 7. We'll hit 7 again, and then pull off 8, 7, 5 before landing on the 3rd string at 7. Coming back second string at 5. Third string 7 pulled off to 6, landing on the fourth string at 7. Walking back up, 6, 7 on the third, 3 strikes on 5 on the second string, and then landing on 7 on the third to end this measure. Okay, I know it's a lot of notes. Let's take it together slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, at that point, we go into the 5th measure of the solo. So what we're going to do when we landed on that 7, what we're going to do for this 5th measure is slide into 9 on that 3rd string. Alright, so when we slide into that 9, we'll come back to 8 on the 3rd string with some vibrato, and then 8, and hit 8 again, hammering into 9, pull back off to 8. So we have this. We'll hit 4th string at 9, back to 3rd string 8, back to 4th string at 9, and then 3rd string 8, 9. Alright, so let's take it from the top, sliding in. Come to the 2nd string, 7, 9, 10, and we'll hit 10 again. Then we hit 10 a 3rd time, pulled off to 9 and 7. Landing on the 3rd string at 9, back to the 2nd string at 7. And finishing out this measure with a pull off from 9 to 8 on the 3rd string, back to 9 on the 4th, 8 on the 3rd, 9 on the 4th. So again, a lot of notes from the slide in. 1, 2, 3, 4. So for the last measure, we're going to come to the 4th position, if you will. And we'll start on the 3rd string. It'll sound like this. Basically ends the solo. So what we're doing is this 4th position, we're going to pull off on the 3rd string 5 to 4, landing on 5 on the 4th string twice. Then we come back to the 3rd string 4 to 5. Then we come 7 pulled off to 4. And hit 5 on that 3rd string, back to 4, a little vibrato. Then we hit 4, 5, pulled back off again to 4, landing on 5 on the 4th string. Then we hit 4 on the 3rd string, and then 3 hits, really 4 hits, but it'll be 3 and then 1 on the open. Then you'll hit 7, pulled off to open on the 3rd string. And then 7 pulled off to 5 4 times. The last one will be 7 pulled off to 5 to open. And then it's kind of the tag which takes us in, and I've gone over it, but it's a shortened version of the verse. So he hits that 8 to 10, slides off. So during that slowed down chorus part in the outro, there's this overdub lead guitar, which is very well done. Again, this is in the studio version, but he plays this. Alright, so what we're doing there is we're on the fourth, this is all on the fourth string. 2 hits on 9 before we go back 7 to 9. Then we're going to hit 9 bent, and then 9 while it's bent, and then hit 9 again releasing. Then we hit 7, and then 7 slid up to 9. Then 9, and then 9 slid up to 11. Then 11, and then 11 slid up to 12. Then we come back and start just a little different. We're going to hammer in 7 to 9, hit 9 before we come back to 7, and then 9. Then we'll hit 9, slide up, this time to 14. 14 again. Then we're going to go 12, hammered on to 14, pulled off to 12, hitting 10. Then we come back to 9, hit 9 again to 10. Then we hit 10 and slide up to 17. So that's that little, like I said, during the outro, the slowed chorus, lead lick. We've gone over all the parts. I've got my notes. I really hope this helps everybody, whether you're playing with the live or the studio version. It's a fantastic song, so I hope you enjoy.